Hey everybody, I want to take a quick pause there to just step out and give everybody a news update on what we've been talking about all morning. Hey, MortgageSeth here, coming to you from the Fed Reserve Board meeting that was happening this morning. Just wanted to give you an overview of what's going on with rates. We did decide that we were going to cut rates by 0.25%. Fed came to that decision. Chairman Powell should be stepping out to make an announcement soon, and everybody will be watching that to see what the impact of that's going to be if he decides that it's more of an inflationary cut, if it's due to the upcoming recession, trying to slow things down. So a lot of the impact on the markets will be in what comes from the comments that he makes in the next hour or so. But what I wanted to talk to you about is that what impact this really has on the mortgage market. So from my perspective, even though the Fed rate, they cut the rate, what that means is the Fed funds rate was cut, and that's the rate that the banks borrow from each other. So when that rate's cut, it's done to help stimulate the economy and increase inflation. The Fed funds rate is not directly tied to mortgage rates or most other fixed rate loan instruments. What is tied directly to the Fed funds rate is the prime rate. And that's the rate that's on credit cards, on home equity lines of credit, those kinds of things. So you may see those rates on credit cards and other similar debt move down with this rate cut that just happened, but mortgage rates don't move based on what the Fed does. In fact, the market has already absorbed the forecast rate cut into the current considerations. So any changes that we were going to see have kind of been built into what rates have been doing over the last few weeks, anticipating this move by the Fed. But let's look at the bigger picture. So long-term Fed rate cuts, they're indicative of an economy that needs a boost. In a recessionary environment, inflation is generally low. That's positive for the bond market. But because of this, when the Fed cuts rates, it's usually a signal that mortgage rates are in a downward trend, which is great for us, right? But the rates don't move down because of the Fed rate cut. It's more of the impact on the comments, where the markets see rates going, and the overall economy. So although it's one thing that does impact what's happening with mortgage rates, it's not the be-all, end-all, and it isn't in a direct relationship. So just remember that. So if you're locked into a mortgage loan today, your rate hasn't changed for the product or loan program. If you're in process, nothing's going to change. Talk to your mortgage advisor about what being locked in means and what that does for your loan product. But in today's market, your timing is pretty good. Rates are still near their historic low. While there may be an opportunity to get a lower rate down the line, the change on rates based on economics conditions usually move over weeks and months, not days. So we'll see where this pans out with this rate cut. But today's rates are amazingly low. If you need to do a refinance to either get rid of PMI, consolidate some of that other debt that you have, or just get into a lower rate, if you're in the 4% right now, you should talk to your mortgage advisor about where rates are and where you can get locked in based on your specific scenario. And then overall in California, the housing market is still very strong. We've still got a supply and demand problem. There's a lot of demand coming. Overall unemployment is low, even though things are slowing a little bit in that area, that there's more people wanting to buy houses than there are houses. So in my opinion, we'll still see prices continue to climb over the long term. Don't be short-sighted and think that you can wait and catch any kind of timing. If you're ready to purchase a home, talk to somebody who can help you. Talk to a mortgage advisor who knows what they're doing so you can get in on the best programs and see what your best options are. And if you need any help, feel free to give me a call. Call, text, email, visit my website, mortgageseth.com. I'll be happy to help you and send you in the right direction. Thanks a lot, and I'm getting back to my meeting. Have a great day.